Yeah, we're the Ghouls Next Door, a media literacy show from a horror lens where we explore the real life, historical, psychological, institutional influences behind our cinematic fears. And as a part of our tech horror series, we are covering actually 2 episodes of Black Mirror. And this is the first one we're doing, which is their episode Common People, which was the first episode of the recent season.
Yeah. And ow. What a... I don't know about you. I was crying.
Yeah.
It was sad.
But why don't we hop in so that I can tell you some of the things to take away from the episode. Because like we said, there's a lot. So I'm just going to be talking about 2 things. And then Kat, I think you're talking about 2 things. But there's going to be more.
Yeah. We're going to cover a lot in a short amount of time. Welcome. Go, Gabe.
Awesome. So Black Mirror, Common People specifically, this episode is from 2025. And it's about when a medical emergency leaves school teacher Amanda fighting for her life, her desperate husband Mike signs her up for Rivermind, a high-tech system that will keep her alive. And it's directed by Ali Pinkue. Common People is a heartbreaking and terribly realistic episode of the tech horror show Black Mirror. Opening up the recent season, Common People drops viewers directly into tech hell with a tragic story about the lengths a couple will go to stay alive. And Black Mirror's episode exists in an alternate dimension where certain technical advances have developed on a science fiction level, tweaking our own world into something slightly more unbelievably awful. Arguably, it's the tech that is unbelievable, not the behavior around the tech. Like, some of the stuff is like, I don't know if we'd ever have that. And then it's like, wait, maybe we would. Maybe that is real. But the way that people are acting about it, the way people would use it, like, I still stand, like, they've used it a few times with the memory, like where it records your like life and then you can watch back your memories. And the first episode that introduced that tech is this guy like suspecting his wife of cheating on him. And so he wants to see her brain. And I was like, of all the things to use that for. Yeah. like for me personally, I was like, oh, I could definitely use that. How many times I've been gaslit by myself and others? Like,
I was like talking to Isaiah yesterday. I was like, what was my I can't even remember people's names or faces. Like, I was trying to think back of like people I knew, and I'm like, I can't even imagine them in my brain. I need this kind of technology to watch my memories.
Right.
Yeah, it's rough.
But it's also like, who has access to those memories? I will say there is an episode in season 7 that uses that technology, or like it's hinted that technology is a part of it, and it's used in a really interesting way that I appreciate. Okay. In a way to like share our memories of a person that we've lost, so that we can all kind of live that. So that part was cute. It's actually, I will say that one was a really good episode. It's not Common People level, but I genuinely enjoyed it. Yeah. Great acting, great situation, very simple. Awesome. So couple Amanda and Mike are common people, working class and in a simple, comfortable love. They celebrate their anniversary each year at the bar of their first date, eating large hamburgers while listening to terrible karaoke. Like, that's their ideal night out. My dream date. And he knew that. Amanda is a teacher for young kids, and Mike is a blue-collar worker. And their life isn't anything magical, but it is perfect for them. They enjoy each other's company and plan for a happy accident, hoping to share that love with a baby someday. It's like the most common you can get. One day, one of Amanda's frequent headaches is revealed to be an inoperable tumor that threatens her life, and her only option to continue living is to subscribe to a new service, Rivermind, that will remove the tumor in her brain and then replace it with tissue that's like synthetic, that is powered by servers in other brains. It's revealed. As someone who gets frequent headaches, it is a little troubling. That was like the first thing I texted you. I was like, Gabe, this can't happen to you. And then you're like, nah, it's fine. They scanned it. I scanned. I was like, oh, this is not happening to me. Maybe watching this episode inspired me. And if you suffer from headaches, please check it out. So with this, the surgery would be free. Cool. But the subscription to keep her brain online will need to be considered, because that's it. It's a monthly fee. Wanting to save his wife, Mike agrees to the program, and Amanda is living again, as if nothing has happened. And like a wish on a monkey's paw, Amanda begins to suffer from a variety of symptoms, of sometimes laughable, other times tragic symptoms and side effects of her low-tier subscription. She's on the bottom. She sleeps far too much. Her brain is acting as a server for other users, we find. Soon she starts launching into random verbal advertisements prompted by conversations around her, like some twisted Truman Show ad placement.
Yeah.
Like coffee. Like she starts with coffee too, which is one of the memorable like Truman shows, which I think is like
who are you talking to? Yeah.
But she doesn't even know. Like that's crazy to me. Like you just like hijacked my brain.
Yeah.
Because like the way she's doing it does kind of feel like how when you're watching like TikTok or Reels and people are telling you stories and they're like, oh, and by the way, you know, here's this thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But her brain is hijacked. So her lower tier, well, so the advertisements and the fact she does not have control over them does jeopardize her job with children and her love life. Yeah. It's like a scene where to talk about lubricant or something. And he's like, wow, way to kill the mood. And then she's like, having trouble getting it up. I was like, oh no. Poor guy.
It's like contextual ads. And it's like, no, sometimes you shouldn't put ads somewhere. It's fine.
Please give us space. Yeah. Her lower tier status limits her travel to only within her current county, which is that's tiny, meaning they have to skip their annual visit to their anniversary restaurant. Yeah. It's the first of the heartbreak, really. With each new limitation or complication, River Minds rep Gaynor enthusiastically shares that there are always the higher level tiers. You know? For just $800 more, for $800 more a month, you can travel more. And you won't have these pesky ads interfering with your life. For $1,000 more, you can hack into your brain to change your mindset and your abilities. And it's more on top of what they already are doing. No. Desperate to keep up these payments and his wife's well-being, Mike resorts to some desperate measures that spiral out, leaving him injured, drained, and emotionally distraught, while Amanda begins to waste away to sleep and the strain of her operating system. Common People is a particularly heartbreaking episode as it feels so much like our lives now. A sharp criticism of our healthcare system, subscription services, and capitalism, Common People pulls no punches despite being housed on the predatory subscription system, Netflix. Yeah. So I think one of the big things, and you know, people are going to talk about it, is that this is a subscription to life that feels like death, right? This is my section for this is specifically Amanda's horror, like what she's experiencing. And then I'll also share what like Mike's horror is, right? So Black Mirror has had some bangers in the past. I'm looking at you the entirety of season 3. Like I was looking at the list and I was like, dang, hit.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah.
That has like San Junipero, like, the DJ. And anyway, you can also check out that episode that we did on Be Right Back about grief and tech. But it's been a hot minute since it left viewers truly broken over an episode. I think like, was it the crocodile one or the bear? Like a few of them were really rough. And I remember people being like, get emotionally ready. And I was like, I'm good. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, I'm sad. But it's been a minute, you know, like some of them have been entertaining and fun. They had like the choose your own adventure one. That was cool. We'll talk, like we're going to talk about next episode is one from last season. So like there are definitely gems in there, but Common People is brilliant in its simplicity and believability. We live in a subscription hell these days, today. Everything from our media, many media, our shopping, and even our printers are holding us hostage over subscription costs. There's a whole video about how you have to sign up for your printer use, and it's supposed to like see when your ink gets low to send you new ink. But what it does is if you don't keep up with your subscription to your printer that you already paid for, even if there's ink in there, it just will not print. That's crazy. It's like that's your printer, right? That's not even anything important. Okay, like
or like even this like streaming service, like you don't own your media either, so like a lot of games, like if you have digital games, you don't own them, they can take them back at any time. Like that's why the new Switch is getting a lot of heat. Like you don't own anything, and that's like the whole thing is they don't want us to be able to own anything so that we have to keep paying money.
Yeah, I think PlayStation is doing that too, where like it's going to just be like, you don't have this anymore. And media, like we've said it before, if you like an album or a film, like having those physical copies of those things, like kind of going back almost like hoarder status here, because we don't know, it could go in the vault and be gone forever. And I just can't live, like, let's bring back Blockbuster as a community space, like a library where anyway, someone give me seed money so I can make a new Blockbuster. Come on, somebody. Anyway, the second episode of Black Mirror, like ever, played with the annoyance and intrusion of pop-up ads. And this feels like a natural progression from that imagined future now that we have even more understanding of the potential future of our tech in regards to like pop-up ads. I remember it's like, what's 1,000 berries or whatever? It's merits. It's not berries. Berries is One Piece. It's merits, and he like closes his eyes and it's like, open your eyes. Open your eyes. You have to watch it. Elon Musk is trying to create brain chips. And if you think those wouldn't have annoying ads and worse subscription for access to things, maybe even one day your eyesight, then you should read more. You should touch grass and you should read more books. For more on brain chips and why you should be afraid of them, you can check out Kat's section from our Possessor episode, which should have you shaking in your boots about it. And while writing that joke about losing your eyesight for this script, I discovered that there's literally like retinal implants that exist right now for sight impaired people that can have their eyesight shut off.
Yep.
A user, Barbara Campbell, reported in an article in IEEE Spectrum that her Argus 2 retinal implant system powered down on her when she was walking in the subway. Like she just couldn't, it was like, oop, it's off.
Yeah, beep, 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 gone.
Because the companies that help these people see have gone under. And so now those people, their sight is literally unsupported tech.
And it's like still in their heads.
It's in their heads. It was how they were able to see. And now they can't because the company that was managing that is gone.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was instead it was like a paywall. Like you didn't pay your stuff. There goes. It's like repo. Like stealing your organs. Like.
Yeah. There's also that show on that I keep trying to get us to watch, but it's like really long, Upload. But it's like you upload your consciousness after death, and they have this whole like once you get like further into it, they have this like subscription service. So if you don't pay, you go to like bad afterlife and you get paused. Like your consciousness, like their whole screen turns gray.
You're just like dead.
And you just sit in limbo. And then you have to sit there until someone pays the bill so that your like afterlife subscription.
What if
is
the people
continued.
who love you are dead? What? Anyway.
They also have this, they incentivize like uploading your brain, which is killing yourself so that they can have more user. It's like a whole thing. And then make like slavery within the virtual space. It's the time.
Oh my gosh. It's, I mean, like stuff like we could absolutely have more like sci-fi episodes. I've always wanted to do Altered Carbon, especially like season 1. I haven't seen season 2. Would love to check that out. I think it's interesting. But even like even like other episodes of Black Mirror have that idea. Like San Junipero, they upload their brain, right? And that's like a positive, but like there's other ones that's not positive. You know? So you know, like that's crazy and scary. And honestly, not too far-fetched. So all this to say that the world of Black Mirror has tech that impacts their universe, and if you pay attention, you can see how it grows over time. Even in this episode, Amanda is teaching her students about ADI bees, which were launched in the episode Hated in the Nation, where computer bees were designed to pollinate now that our own like real bees were extinct and are still very necessary to keep us going. Like we're in that moment now. We're in the moment now where we need robot bees.
Yeah.
But those bees that were created had been hacked to kill people deemed the most hated online. And it was like a whole thing about like cancel culture, but it was also about like
surveillance
and who was controlling it. And it's a really great episode. And if like we ever did like, here's our top 10 of Black Mirror episodes, that would be on the top for me, as well as Nosedive about like your social standing.
Oh, that one was terrifying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So some of those, we again, if you like this, and next episode, and you want to hear more Black Mirror coverage, I am happy to do that.
I'm surprised we haven't, to be honest. It's funny.
It comes up sometimes, and then we were like, something else, a movie. Anyway, the series even has a tech horror that pokes fun at its home service, Netflix. It's called Streamberry. And we see this in a few episodes, but it's most featured in Jonah's Awful, which is what we're going to be covering next. So Streamberry, I think they even call it out as Netflix. And there's an episode about this documentary, like a true crime documentary that gets to Netflix, and you see it on Netflix in it. And I swear I saw a real tech document, or not a tech, a true crime documentary that looked like it was the same story, but it was real. And I was like, what in the inception is happening right now? And it was on Netflix. Like, it's on Netflix. Yeah. I have not watched the true crime documentary because I'm a little afraid of it's real. Yeah. Because it came out after an episode. I can't. Anyway, so while the show is one of science fiction horror, it also leans closer to speculative fiction in its prediction of our own world's technological advances, even more so in its prediction of how the companies and people who control these technological advances will use them. Everything has a subscription model now. As we grew from cable cutting, like, oh no, I pay $70 for all 120 channels. Now we're paying significantly more to each singular media app. Like, let's go back. Let's uncut the cord. Let's cord back up.
Well, it's because it seems more reasonable because it's like a lower. You're like, oh, you're paying like $14.99, and it's like, no, you're not paying $14.99. You're paying like hundreds of dollars. It's just a bunch of $14.99s,
right?
And people don't. We don't know how to do math.
Yeah,
and I'm a part of the problem. I don't know how to do math, but like, it's so real because it feels less. Like it feels little, so you're more willing to like take on more and more, and it's dumb.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's a rouge, and Netflix started it, and we used to be able to. At least like, okay, I'll take on HBO, you take on Amazon Prime, you take on
now we
Netflix,
can even share
them, and now that's out. So we're living in a nightmare. We pay for gaming services, phone services, our printers, photo apps, shopping sites, food delivery, book lending, and nearly anything else you can think of. I'm sure there's more, right?
They're
that's just off the noggin.
Too.
I was like thinking of stuff that I've paid for. Editing software. What we're recording right now is a subscription service.
Yeah.
Thank God YouTube is free. Knock on wood. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
In our current world where life-saving medicines are prescription-based, which is healthcare subscriptions, a system that leads to poor people dying from preventable or manageable diseases and illnesses, it's not a far leap that if we found a technology that allowed us to keep people alive or further improve the lives of the elite, that we would absolutely charge a monthly fee. At the very least. And it would start very accessible. Ironically, viewers on the lower tier plans of Netflix had to suffer through ads while watching this episode. Yep. So it's pretty...
I'm on the lowest tier of Netflix, and yes, I did have to suffer through ads while watching it.
I'm so sorry. I would share my Netflix with you.
But we can't.
We're family. You just live in a different house. What? My mom is family. I can't share it with my mom. Like, what is happening? Anyway.
I know.
While Amanda's spontaneous ad reads were laughably sad, and the ever-changing tier system that left them in the common plan angering, it was the use of Amanda's brain for other users that hurt me the most. That's what hit me. I was like, ouch. Like, because it was like, you know, when she's doing the things, you're like, haha. You know, like that, the video, the gif of the boy where he's like smiling and then he's crying. Like, that's what I felt like. But that part where they revealed like she's a server, and then you see anyway, let me tell you, they weren't warned, like this couple is warned that the only side effect really of Rivermind is that she'll sleep more. And Amanda laughs this off at some point, saying it was always something she wanted to do more of, only the sleep isn't restful. She isn't sleeping at all. Rather, her brain is being used as a server for other Rivermind users, most undoubtedly those of the higher tier systems. This episode hits in many ways, but this struck me the hardest as it represents so much of the effects of our new technology or energy systems on the sources that they use, right? This process represents the impoverished and vulnerable people whose land we pillage for resources, leaving them with toxic land and water, an increase in natural disasters, and other inhumane treatment, even war. These developing countries are left with the fallout of our siphoning, while the more developed countries thrive and aspire for better iPhones. We want cheap iPhones, so we're going to go to the cobalt mines. Screw the people who live there. Right? Fracking provides energy for some while leaving the fracked places with toxic water and land. AI provides answers in silly photos of your kid if they were in Hogwarts, while robbing areas of water and contributing to our heat crisis and the fires in LA. Right? There's always a source to our technological advances that is actively being harmed while the wealthy thrive. And the practices of these technologies is kept far away from the consumers, allowing them the convenience of shutting out their contribution to the issue. We talk about this a lot, right? It's really hard in a capitalistic system to not be contributing to actively to the harm of others because we just got to exist. And we are
and it's
common
built
people.
into everything. Yeah.
It's built into everything. We are common people. This is what we can afford.
Yeah.
Like, we can't even afford to do this differently a lot of the time, right? Like, so while the woman in the commercial was able to be the best mom she could be, I also love that actress. She's so funny. Tapping into all sorts of mental benefits she leached from other users, right? She's like, oh, now I can play pickleball or something. Amanda slowly wasted away, eventually sleeping up to 16 hours a day and denied not only the simple common life pleasures, but her future as a mother too. Like this other lady gets to be mom of the year on her brain. Using her brain power. And she's not even allowed to be a mom because that costs more. Because that was a good line though. It was like, it's hard work. Your brain is working really hard when you have a baby in there. As many of the characters in other Black Mirror episodes in some way ask for the repercussions to their action, like they each made a conscious choice to interact with the tech that changed their lives. Like they're like, I'm subscribing, right? I'm signing up for this. They're saying yes. Some of them coerced for sure. Others, desperate. But Amanda didn't get that choice. It was made for her. And in good faith by her living husband. Like, I do not fault him for it. But it does make it a truly heartbreaking character, right? Because I think...
it wasn't a choice,
it was chosen for her and, like, is not at all, like, terribly comparable, but just this lack of choice and, like, her body being used against her will, like, without her, like, permission... had me thinking of Adriana Smith, like having been kept alive against her will and that of her family for some bigger agenda, right? Like it had nothing to do with her. And while not as cruelly, right, as that situation, Amanda is stripped of her autonomy as soon as she gets that surgery. Her brain is never hers again. Instead, she becomes a piece of tech for a company, a cog in a greater machine of capitalism, of which we all play a part. And she, sadly, is not a part that the system deems of value.
Yeah.
So that's her horrors. My other section here is the emotional weight of caregiving, which I think is Mike's horror. Because like I just said, like, absolutely it was not her choice, but I understand why he did it. And like, put in the same position, there's a good chance I'd make the same choice, you know, like for my loved ones. So while Amanda's side of the story is especially tragic, we can't overlook Mike's. He's going through it in this. And I don't blame Mike for making the choice he did in saving his wife's life. For what we see, this woman is his best friend and someone who he is fully intended to grow old with and grow a family with. It's a no-brainer, pun intended, for him to keep his wife alive, no matter the cost. And this decision weighs heavily on him, even looking past the obviously large life decision. This is also a substantial financial decision that he's making on his own. And they are a couple. They have been making decisions together, financially and otherwise, for all the years they've been together. right?
Yeah.
And he signs up knowing they'll have to tighten some purse strings and that he would be the one to put in that extra effort. With each upgrade, he feels the weight of his initial decision, but also the weight of his wife's literal life in his hands. So it's no surprise to me that he turns to dumb dummies.
Yeah.
Though surely there could have been a better way to make fast cash. I think in one of the scenes, he's like, oh, for $20, he was going to do the mousetrap on his tongue. Bruh.
Yeah, up it a little bit.
Learn from OnlyFans. Jack that up, okay? Know your worth, kid.
Yeah.
You ever heard of DoorDash? Sell some plasma. Like, what? Anyway, he's desperate. Like, he heard the video, whatever. He's like, yeah, I'll drink some piss for a few bucks. It should, like, I don't know if there's a price that I could put on for some of the things that he endured, but I'll tell you, it's not $20.
Yeah, no, it has to be more.
First of all, I'm selling feet pics before we get that far, but he does not have the luxury, I'm sure. As extreme as Dumb Dummies is, it feels like an aggressively honest representation of the pressures on caregivers. For many who put their lives on hold to support and care for a loved one who is no longer able to fully care for themselves, this desperation, tiredness, and perseverance is relatable. Like, despite that, he keeps going. He finds a way. He finds a way. And while he wasn't overtly caring for Amanda in the traditional way caregivers do, right? Like, he wasn't like caring for her body in that way. Mike is living his life in much the same way as caregivers. He, like Amanda, is forced to live in the moment, taking things day by day, hoping for another tomorrow that may not come. And it's emotionally draining as we see the fatigue on Mike's face grow until the very end when he's desperate to end it all. And despite the pain of the circumstances, their love for each other is always there, reminding us why we continue that fight anyway. But even more accurate to this experience is the lack of support for Mike in the caring of his wife. Despite being loyal customers who were there from the start and always paid on time, they are denied any support, understanding, or leeway when Mike loses his job. While there are programs throughout the country for caregivers, there's no guarantee you could have that support if you needed to make that big life-changing decision. Some people are really just doing it by the skin of their teeth. In our section, I will have some ways to help links with some resources. And I'm open, please share if you know of any as well. Would love to support the caregivers out there. There's also a terrible undercurrent of ableism that stems from the episode. Like, there was a bit of icky feelings because she's essentially like a differently abled person at this point. And I think the tension and like obligation that's put on him can be interpreted, like, I can hear people in their living rooms being like, just kill me, you know?
Yeah.
Which is like so ableist and gross.
Yeah.
And as we see Amanda go in the end, it seems as an act of mercy since her quality of life has diminished so severely. I will say that the only solace in that moment is that Amanda makes that choice in the end.
Yeah, she's the one.
It's her moment of serenity. He turned it up for her, and she finally lets go of the second life. And that's like the best we could do for her, right? But overall, Common People feels like a true return to form for Black Mirror, embracing the speculative fiction tinged with horror we had grown to love for so many years. And while we can joke that our current reality has been so horrifying that Black Mirror didn't know how to catch up, it seems we can be assured that the team has been keeping up with us all along, watching as the world changes in the face of new technology. And I am thankful that such a show exists. And while it is on a subscription platform with tiered system, no less, I still appreciate its existence. And for more on the irony of big tech media creating critical media that's even against itself, check out our episode on Severance Season 2. Kat has a really great piece about it.
There's a little conflict of interest happening.
Yeah, like why do you don't get to say?
You can only say so much, you know. They're in on the joke.
Right. But that being said, this episode does say a lot, and it really shook people because they were like, you really let them say all that? Like, they're talking about you. Like, even Jonas Awful kind of feels like, we're talking about you right now. There's a writer's strike. Like, you know? Like, So, I mean, commend them for being able to let it go.
Yeah, it's like, I wonder what like the approval process is, like, because they have a lot of shows and movies and all that stuff on their platform. It's like, how do they go about the approval process? Like, was someone from Netflix actively in the room? I don't know. Will they get in trouble for it later? Who knows? But yeah, it is a conflict of interest for sure. But I think I agree. They did a lot with the episode, and it was so real and painful.